Okay, can anybody hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't normally have those kind of technical problems, but I did just buy a new mic, new and improved, supposed to be better mic, but so much for that. Okay, I'm still trying to get everything open back up. Be with everybody in just a moment.
It's no problem. I know how those technical issues, they come up, man, and they happen when you least expect it.
Yeah, I don't normally have it.
Especially when you have new gear, right? That new microphone and all that. You got to get it in sync with the system. And
Okay, John, can you hear me okay?
loud and clear.
Okay. And Jonathan Taw, how about you? Can you hear me? And I'm sorry, Miss Jones, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your name. How do you say that?
Legelle.
Legelle. Well, welcome to the group. I see you're a first time guest, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. Okay. So we may have a couple other folks coming in here and I'll have to take a break and just let them in real quick. So just bear with me. We're going to go ahead and start since we're already late with my technical problems. I don't normally have those kind of issues, but if you're welcome to unmute yourself so we can just have open conversation unless you have dogs barking, husband and wife barking, things like that, babies crying. This is the monthly West DFW REI Group lunch and learn, we call it. It originally started off as a physical lunch and learn where we'd go meet at a restaurant and shake hands and build relationships, and then just go through question and answer session to try and help answer the questions for anyone that had questions. Then COVID hit, so we've been doing them virtually. So we're trying to do as much networking as we possibly can on these calls. So the way I usually start this off is I'm going to give you 30 seconds or so to just kind of do a quick introduction of what your name is, what you're doing, if you offer something to the group, and what you're looking for. If you're buying houses, please go. As a matter of fact, regardless of whether you're buying houses, go to the chat box after you're done introducing yourself and put your name, your phone number, your email address, where you're located, and what it is you're looking for. Are you looking for houses? If so, what are they? If you want to be added to everybody's buyers list, I will add my information in there as well because I'm looking for houses. So I'll put my info in there. As a matter of fact, I'll start off with the introduction and just so you kind of see what I'm looking for and what I recommend you do here. on these events, I always recommend you use your video. And I do that because it's a networking event. We can't network if we don't know what you look like and what put a name and a face together. You can also go into Zoom and create a profile and insert a picture. So if there's times when you need to step away, at least we can still have a picture of you on your profile. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. My name's Tim Cook. I run the West DFW REI Group. I'm a full-time investor, been buying and selling houses for 21 years, been running this group for 11 and a half years. I am buying houses in Tarrant County, Parker County, Hood and Johnson. And I'm looking for anything that's a deal, but I prefer, if I have my choice, brick 322, brick 422 homes that I can either do a total rehab on, fix and flip and sell, or a rental property that takes, minimal work, but anything that's a deal. And I kind of specialize, if I had to say I had a specialty, it's sub 2 type deals. So I've been doing those for 20 years. I teach that strategy, and it's a great strategy. And I will also joint venture with any investor here. If you have a deal that you're not comfortable with and you want to learn as well, then we'll do that as well. So, and I also offer mentoring, and I'll put all that into the chat box. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to John. John Beeman is our newest sponsor to the group. And I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself, John, and say who you are, what you do, and how you can help.
Yeah, no, thanks, Tim. Legelle and Jonathan, glad you guys are here. My name is John Beeman. I am a partner at Kimball Property Management. We are a new sponsor with West DFW REI Group, and really looking for opportunities to meet more members and really kind of figure out what everybody's doing. I handle really residential property management within Tarrant, Parker, Hood County. Really like to just be in Tarrant and Parker because I'm more local into those areas. I'd like to talk with others and find out more about, whether people are doing more fix and flips, or if they're doing more, kind of got a long-term hold strategy, or, just better get acquainted to everyone and what they've got going on. So glad to be here with you guys.
So glad to have you too, John. So anybody that's looking for a property management company, John and I have had a lot of conversation, and it's one of those things. Property managers are not all created equal. It's
Right.
Just like title companies, real estate investor groups, they are not all created equal. And I think John is another one of those. It's not just like the average property management company. So check them out. I'd be happy to help you out. Okay. Legelle, is that how you say it? Legelle? Well,
Yes, that's how you say it. I am Legelle. I am a real estate agent. I actually work for, the brokerage I'm under is JPAR. Since the market I'm new to the whole field.
Okay.
I just got my real estate license in November. And so since the market is a little different right now, I'm looking for other ways to create another stream of money, income. So I am interested in learning how to fix and flip, and also eventually have some investment properties. So I'm just here trying to get my feet wet. I hadn't did anything. I'm a little not really fearful, but I just don't know where to start. So
okay. All right. And where are you located in the Metroplex?
I am actually in Arlington, in Tarrant County.
Okay. Well, you are in one hopping area, that's for sure.
Yep.
I mean,
Great.
Arlington, you're in the middle of all of it.
Yeah.
Of course, there's good and bad to that, right?
Of course. That's life.
And traffic is one of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Traffic is one of those. It's
Yeah.
almost, you couldn't get much, well, Dallas is probably worse. But
Yeah,
yeah, you have your fair share of traffic over there, but you're in a great market for both listing properties.
yeah.
And is that side of the business keeping you busy?
Actually, none of it is. I have a lot of clients that do lease right now. So
Okay.
I'm looking to widen my audience as far as listings, period, selling real estate. But since it's so slow and I'm still trying to build relationships and do everything, I'm like, okay, I'm that one. I like steady cash flow.
Really?
I'm just ready to, do something to kind of see, which way to go.
I've
So,
heard that from some women in my life too. Cash flow.
yes, I am a single parent. I'm a single mom, so
Okay.
I enjoy having different streams of income.
Okay, cool. So you've come to the right place. I mean, this is a great group. This call is typically smaller than most. We have several that registered and didn't attend, so at least so far. It's a lunchtime call, so not everybody's available during lunchtime. I've thought about changing the time up a little bit, and eventually we want to get back to real meetings, but just when we think it's getting better, COVID turns the other way, so I'm not sure when we're going to be going back to a physical lunch and learn. We just had our first physical meeting this month in 18 months. And I'm not sure, just what we're going to be doing in the future. As of right now, I don't have a location for October yet. I'm sorry, September, to do a physical meeting. So I'm struggling with that. I think we have a meeting location starting October and beyond, but a lot of that's going to also depend on COVID. So, okay. Well, welcome to the group. We'll talk more about fix and flip houses and stuff here in a couple minutes. Jonathan Tall, you're up next, bud. You want to unmute yourself? Are you there?
I think he's got a note here in the chat box where he's basically buying houses in Tarrant County. He's a new investor, new member. He bought his first fix up and rent out property, currently not renovated yet, and hoping to hear more on how to do renovations and rent out successfully.
Yep, I see it. Okay. Okay. So we have that's it so far. Nobody else is signed in. So this meeting is all about just trying to help, do Q&A, answer questions. Naturally, I can always talk about things, but I want to talk about what you want to talk about. What kind of questions do you have that are on your mind and that I can try and help you with, or maybe somebody else on the call can help you. So go ahead and unmute yourself, whoever's got a question, and let's rock and roll here.
I don't know if I have so much of a question as I do a comment, right? Like when you're looking at make readies, I know that it really, you're looking at it either from a flip sell perspective or a rent hold perspective. So, after this meeting, for example, I'm meeting one of my clients to go over a punch list on a make ready on a house he just acquired. And, what I look for typically is liabilities and of course, Texas property code, right? Aside from, just trying to make the house presentable and get top rent rate outside of cosmetic stuff. So and then I did a move-in assessment this morning at another property just before a tenant moves in to really archive the condition and make sure that I have a very thorough archive of the condition of the home. So when that tenant does move out, then I can do a very thorough deposit itemization and deduct accordingly whenever that time happens.
Okay. So does anybody have a question about what John just said?
Just want to hear the answer.
So I didn't catch the question there, John. Was there a question in there? Were you?
No, there wasn't really a question. It was more of like just a different vantage point. Because I think Jonathan and Legelle really want to talk about like rehabs and make ready stuff, just kind of based off of what they've said. And so, commenting to that, right? Like you can look at a make ready from a long-term rental perspective or from a fix flip cosmetic and you're out of there. And so,
Yep.
there are differences between the two. Right.
Yeah, and not everybody's definition of a good make ready is the same. I happen to be a very fussy person when it comes to make readies, whether it's a rental or not. I'm very fussy. I mean, things have to be, in my opinion, and this is probably my Marine Corps days. 24 years in the Marine Corps. All the cleaning and swabbing and everything had to be spick and span and everything had to be exactly, and that's kind of how I do our houses. So, I'm a big believer in, and Legelle, this is probably very important for you as an agent as well. Hi, Lisa, welcome aboard. You're welcome to unmute yourself if you'd like to when you're ready there. But Lisa is an agent as well. And an investor and a member of the group. But the cleaning and the detail that, you have that make ready done can make a big difference in the showing of that house. And so many people just don't do that. I mean, they think lights don't need to be cleaned, the light shades, the light bulbs,
Cockroaches cleaned up.
it kills me when I see investors and agents have listing pictures with a toilet seat up. What in the world's going on there? Why?
Right.
Or they take listing pictures with the lights off, or the blinds closed. I mean,
right.
You want the house to sparkle and be bright, when people walk in, and it just makes a whole different feeling as you walk in. So that make ready is very, very important. And, so many people don't know how to do it. So it's important to make sure that whoever is doing your make ready understands what the expectations are. If they tell you they're going to be in the house for 2 hours and be done, that's probably not the right person, most likely. So, but that's a very important part, the make ready and then the staging of that house, whether it's a rental property or you're flipping it, that staging of the property can make a world of difference as well. Making sure that it looks sharp. That doesn't mean you have to put furniture in the house. We lightly stage everything and have for probably close to 20 years we've been doing this, and just make it look nice, just dress it up, and you don't have to go put furniture in it until you get into the more expensive homes. Then that furniture is going to play a lot bigger role. So, okay, what's next?
So what would be the first step in doing a fix and flip?
Finding
The very first step.
Finding a good deal.
Finding a good deal.
Without that, you're kind of stuck, right?
Yeah.
This particular time in the market is tough. You have got to readjust everything you do in today's hot sellers market, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is, do you understand, since you're new in the business, Legelle, do you understand what MAO is, the max allowable offer? So it's the max allowable offer is your after repaired value. The home's all fixed up times 70% minus repairs. Now, 70% is where I was going with this. That means you're looking for a 30% discount. Most of the gurus out there teach that percentage. There are some that are extremely greedy, that they go after 65 or 60 or 55. I've even heard investors say, I want 50 cents on a dollar, you know. Well, that's great to want, but want in this hand, and you know, which hand's going to fill up first?
Yeah.
And it's hard to find those. Well, nowadays, I've changed my percentage to 75%. So I'm only looking for a 25% discount. And again, that's to try and help me make the numbers work on those deals, because sellers are overinflating the sales prices. Buyers are overinflating the purchase prices, and the investors are all the wholesalers are overinflating, just betting that a desperate buyer is going to buy the house. And that causes the end result for people like me that do great rehabs. My rehabs cost me a lot more money, because I don't just put paint and carpet in them and call it a rehab. We do a real rehab of the entire property. So it costs me a lot more money. So I have to, you know, so I'm trying to balance it. I'm making sure I understand what the after repaired value is going to be, looking at those sold properties in great detail to see, why did it sell? If it sold in 2 days, what caused it to sell in 2 days? Was it just a well-maintained home in a popular area, or was it a completely rehab top to bottom house that was just magnificent? You know, all those things really come into play. The realtor remarks come into play. You've got to understand what caused the house to sell for the price that it did. Okay. So you got to look at that. But that formula for Mayo, you know, now I'm doing 75% time, you know, the after repaired value times 75% minus the repairs. And on that repairs, you have to really understand what that cost is going to come to, and you know, build relationships with rehab contractors that you can trust. And you know, I have never done a rehab deal that I was able to do it for what I've projected. In other words, if I plan $50,000, I've never hit the 50,000. There's always something else that's found in those rehabs. And that means you got to have a little bit of extra fudge factor in your numbers, and you have to watch those numbers closely. And the rehab contractors that you're using have to understand the numbers and make sure that your budget is this and you can't go over it. So you have to be very careful. And then you also have to make sure that you have a plan that you can get in and get out as quick as possible. Okay. If you buy the house first and then start putting your team together, then start trying to get rehab estimates, all that kind of stuff, you're going to be delaying. Every day you sit on that house as a holding cost. And, you know, whether it's utilities, insurance, taxes, potential vandalism, you know, all those things come into play. So if you don't have a plan before you buy, you better move awful quick once you buy it, because you need to be able to start that deal as soon as possible.
Okay.
You know, and sometimes that's hard because contractors may not always be available. You know, so you might want to try and line up your closing date with a start date with those contractors. But in some cases, you don't want to delay in case sellers change their mind. You don't want to lose that deal.
Right.
Some sellers need to sell on a certain time. You know, I've had a couple deals where I had to wait 4 to 6 weeks, and that just killed me. I still bought the house because I needed to close on it, so I didn't lose the deal, and the sellers needed to move on. But you just have to take all those things into consideration when you're planning that purchase and rehab. I don't recommend that you start out in a $500,000 house.
Me neither.
Yeah, don't start out in a $500,000 house. I mean, 100 to 200,000, it's hard to find anything under 100,000 anymore.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if you found a real deal like that, then, start out at something a little bit lower and just make sure that you understand what that neighborhood is doing, what kind of rehabs are selling in there and so forth. You don't want to over rehab it, even though I have a tendency to do that. In today's market, that paid off. So the other thing that's a very high risk thing for you being new is overestimating the ARV. You can look at what the sold comps say and see what the condition was and what kind of quality rehab and stuff. But, I've been doing this long enough to know that I can do certain things and I can really push my high end of the sale price. The house I most recently finished, when I went into it, was over in Meadowbrook. If you know where Meadowbrook is at.
I do.
Not exactly the best area in some places. And I got a really good deal on this house. So that's what allowed me to do this. But when I went into it, I was pushing my estimated ARV at 165, 170, because there wasn't anything like this house. And I know what kind of quality work we do. And so I was really thinking 165, 170. I was way over budget. I went into the deal at $70,000 rehab. I ended up at over 90. So I put too much money in it, but it was because of the things we found and a couple things I missed, surprisingly. But in the end, when my selling agent came in and walked the property when it was done to do her final walkthrough and estimate what we wanted to ask for it, she said, this isn't 170 in today's market. This is a 195.
Wow.
So, I mean, just in about 5 months, it went up that much. Well, we put that on the market at 195 and it sold for 230.
Wow. Wow.
But the point of that comment was you can't bet that's going to happen. So when you're buying it, you don't want to say, oh, I'm pretty sure I can get an increased price and then pay too much for that house, especially when you're new in the business. It's a little different. Once you have been doing this a little while, you might have a better feel for what you might get out of it. But that is a high risk approach to think you might get more than what the sold comps tell you. And but it's another thing you have to consider.
I saw that Meadowbrook house. That was you basically completely redid that house, Tim. It was sharp.
I tell everybody it's a house built in 1952 that's brand new.
Yeah, no,
or a brand new 1952 house. Because I mean, the only thing that was untouched was the roof. The roof was 4 years old when I bought it.
Well, that's pretty dang new for roof.
So the rest of the house though was just, was gorgeous, nice house.
Yeah.
So you have to get out there and start looking at houses and evaluating them and making those offers based on that 70 to 75% ratio of the after repaired value minus the repair costs. And with regards to repair costs, we could take 25 people, 25 investors. You could put 25 appraisers in a house and everybody would come out with different numbers on what the after repaired value is and what the estimated repair costs are going to be. It's just, it's not an exact science to coming up with those repair costs. What you need to work on though is is building relationships with contractors to do certain jobs at certain prices so that you can fine tune your analysis
Mhm.
and have a system and be able to routinely do things at a certain price. Unfortunately, my rehab contractor that I've been using for about 4 years just got out of the business. His whole crew quit on him, and he's just shut the whole business down. So now I'm back to square one just after I got all the pricing figured out. Now, they're no longer doing it. But that's something that you have to be constantly working on. And of course, the other thing that doesn't help us any is all the building material cost increase right now. So, there's a lot of work trying to keep up with all these prices and stuff and get contractors that are going to be able to work with you and stay within your budget.
Mhm.
So you'll want to meet rehab contractors, all different skills, get them to go out and walk the property with you and get you some estimates.
I got a question for you, Tim. And it's I probably is probably not the case, but is there, since you do more subject to, are there more foreclosures that are happening? Probably not, but you do have situations like I've been in one with divorce where it was almost impossible to work with my soon-to-be ex-wife to sell that house, right? So there's a lot of different strategies on how to obtain those good deals, Legelle. But what are you seeing, Tim, as far as how you're finding these deals? Are they more subject to, or that you actually out just finding something that's really distressed and giving them an offer on it? Or
so we were all hoping that there was a ton of subject to deals flooding the market today, but because of the foreclosure moratoriums, that's not the case.
Mhm.
Yes, there are some, because there are still people that realize the day is coming, that they have to sell. There are people that do find it, they may have been laid off during COVID and now they've got a new job and it's moving them somewhere else, So there are some subject to deals out there, but not a lot right now. And I keep waiting for that moratorium to be lifted so that, we can start pursuing those. We are doing the marketing. We are doing direct mail, and we're doing blogs with an attempt to drive traffic to our web pages, as well as probate deals, probates and pre-foreclosure. And we have websites and blogs that we do for both those, and that's where I think we're going to see a lot of activity in the future. I'm really focusing in on that, but there's a lot of different types of sellers. I mean, divorce is a great one, absentee owners, tired landlords, judgments and liens, those are all good ones. Senior citizens, been in a home for 20, 25 years, they start getting ill health, or maybe lost a loved one, or maybe they can't go up and down the stairs anymore in the house. That's a great seller to try and work with as well. So in today's market, though, with it being such a hot seller's market, we're finding that it's difficult to get a lot of attraction going, a lot of activity going, because so many of them know that they can list the house and get a lot of money out of it. So we're trying to diversify. We're doing a little bit of everything. We're doing the direct mail, we're doing blogs, we're doing email marketing, we're doing websites, classified ads, doing a little bit of all that stuff to try and get attention and get people to bite on our advertising. We recently hired a VA service that's doing calls of our list. We have Skip Trace list and FSBO list, and they've started calling those sellers to generate some activity as well.
it's aggressive. I like that.
Okay, who's next? Lisa, do you have any questions? You haven't said a word yet today.
No. Nothing I can think of right now.
Okay. Okay, so who's next? What other questions do we have? So, Legelle, we are working on trying to find us another rehab contractor that we can get into the group as a sponsor. We do have a roofing company that's great. We do have a air conditioning company that's great, but we need all the other skills. So we're looking for those folks to get them into the group as sponsors to help the members of the group. So hopefully you'll see that announcement here in the near future. Always looking for those kind of skills if you happen to know of anybody. It killed me when the one we were using for 4 years shut down, went out of business because, you know, we were just getting a good rhythm going, you know, so.
Is he not doing anything now?
Say that again, Lisa.
Is Jason not doing anything now?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
So I have another question. So I joined Joe Boss Group.
Yep.
Are you guys affiliated or are you two different entities?
Two different organizations. Joe's a great guy. And with you being in Arlington, you know, that's a good place to be. And Joe and I do some things together occasionally, but no, we're two separate organizations.
Okay.
He's a great guy though.
Yeah, I met him. Good people.
What else? So while you're thinking of a question, I'll just tell you, I got a little bit of good news. It's been kind of a busy week. I got a short sale approved that I've been working on for several months. I'm not overly excited it was approved so quickly just because of the contractor problem. I'm still trying to get good estimates. I went ahead and made an offer on this thing and to purchase it without having all my due diligence done. I hope that doesn't bite me. I've never done that before, but I've got actually an appointment this afternoon to go meet contractors for a second time. This is a company that I've been talking to, but they're going in there to fine tune their bid. And so I got that short sale approved. That's in East Fort Worth. It's in part of Meadowbrook as well. And then I also have got a verbal acceptance on another house in Burleson. John, that one I talked to you about with the rental quote. I did get that accepted. So I'm just now trying to decide if I'm gonna rent that or if I'm gonna rehab that as well. The thing that's unique about this property is it has 2 kitchens in it and 2 full kitchens, which makes it very difficult to comp it. And the house was built in 1980 and has never had any updates, but it's in excellent condition. I mean, this woman takes care of this house and cleans this house every day. And it's in really good shape. So I'm pretty sure I could rent it as is without doing anything to it. But that's not me. I'm pretty fussy.
Are you going to remove one of those full kitchens?
I haven't decided that. I probably will not do that, but I don't know that yet.
Well, just know those comps I gave you was based off 2 kitchens. So if you go changing that would change.
Yep.
You know.
No, I have no, at this point, I have no intent of removing it. But at the same time, I'm not sure that it's worth rehabbing both kitchens. I may do some updates in both. I'll rehab the main kitchen probably, but the second kitchen that was the add-on, I probably will just spruce it up a bit, but that remains to be seen. But anyhow, good location, big lot, just in solid condition. But that, it's been a busy week. 2 houses accepted in 1 week is a pretty darn good week in today's
That's
market.
awesome.
So
Congrats.
welcome, David.
Hey, Tim, so I did do that upgrade on RE promo. How do you feel about the renovation repairs estimates? Do you think some of them are way off, or do you think they're more spot on?
Oh, no, there's, I don't know if you heard that part of the presentation from Mike, but those are national averages that are in there. So what I've been doing, every time I go work a deal with that and I get more prices, I'm going in and tweaking my my default prices in there, which you have the capability of doing. I've been
I
things
thought
like,
some were state prices. I thought he said like one side was national and one side was state. Did I misconstrue that or something?
oh, I don't know. I'll have to go back and re-listen to it. But the main point though I wanted to make is that you can go edit all of those to fit your business model and work, you know, with your contractors and stuff that you're using. So things like, you know, the roofing pricing, I've changed that, the flooring, the painting, air conditioning. I mean, all of those kind of prices I've left, but there are some in there that are spot on with what I've been experiencing. So it's really a mixture of everything. I don't think you want to leave it like it is, but you don't have to change them all either. And I can probably,
You know, if it's adequate enough to get you pretty close in the ballpark before having a contractor walk through.
say that again.
I just didn't know if it's adequate enough to get you in the ballpark of the repair figure before you have a contractor walk through.
Well, I tell you what I will do is I will give you the numbers that I've adjusted. Would that work?
Yes, that would be great.
I thought you might like that. I'm such a
I
nice
would.
guy. I'm such a nice guy, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
Don't tell anybody though, they might call you crazy. Okay, what else? David, do you have any questions?
Jonathan has some questions in the chat.
Okay. Let's see. So Jonathan's asking, well, I think everybody can see the chat regarding, you know, should you be at the property every day? That's really up to you. I would not, you know, open doors for them and close them for them, you know, put a lockbox on the house and let them come and go as they need to. It is to your benefit to go visit periodically and see how they're doing, check in on them. But, you know, it'll drive you crazy if you try and go every day. You know, first off, they're never there on time. So if they tell you they're going to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning and you go there to open it up and you're waiting for them, you know, you're going to be waiting, you're going to be frustrated. So I would just, you know, give them the lockbox code and let them come and go as they need to. And then, you know, you just check in on them. You need to check in on them, especially when they're new working with you, until you get to know them and see how they're doing and progressing. Now, there are some contractors out there that are going to try and convince you that, oh, they work with people that they never even meet. They do deals, you know, rehabs for investors out of country. things like that, and they never even meet the investor that's paying them. Well, I don't care. They can do what they want, but that's not how it's going to work with me. I'm going to go check in on them, see how the work's coming along, and go from there. Okay. So, as far as where to go get materials at, Jonathan, that's a discussion that you're going to have with the contractors. I mean, they may have, there are companies out there that will have you go get or pay for the materials, and they will pick them up, or you can have them delivered. They also have resources they can go to and buy at wholesale prices. So you're going to have that conversation with them and see what works best. And it's all about what you and them can agree to. Then you have discount programs like with, if you've already signed up with the Think Realty program with the group, you can sign up through Think Realty for Home Depot Pro, PPG paints. We have a couple new paint companies and a couple new flooring companies that you can go in and buy your products, your materials at deep discounts. But those prices, you might be able to save a lot of money, and you can have that stuff delivered to the house, but you need to compare those prices to what the contractor can do for you. They may or may not want to use products from someplace else. Just depends on the pricing and depends on what you can agree to with them. Okay. I personally would not get in the position of you buying and delivering products to them as a matter of normal business. It's one thing to go pick up something that they need so that it doesn't slow them down, but I wouldn't do that as a norm. If you become a Home Depot Pro member, they will deliver to the house, even if it's on a lockbox. A lot of places won't do that if it's a vacant house, but Home Depot Pro will do that.
That's good to know.
Okay. And that's part of the membership with Think Realty. So, okay. I think I got all those.
Well,
where do you find, hold on, he's got another one here. Where do you find rehab calculators? So, Jonathan, what Lisa was mentioning there is that when you become a member of the group, you and I spoke about that the other day. When you become a member of the group, you get a free website as part of your membership. There is a premium upgrade that Lisa just signed up for. We just did a presentation this month, actually, on the premium upgrade and all the different tools that it has. But one of those tools is the repair estimator tool that goes through and helps you estimate all the rehab costs. And then it works in conjunction with the property analyzer, the letter of intent generator, the offer generator, and all that stuff works as one package so you can spit out offers very quickly. And I don't know if anybody is planning to attend our property walkthrough in Fort Worth next Wednesday, a week from yesterday. Hold one second, please. So the next Wednesday, we're doing this property walkthrough, and it's a brand new, well, not brand new, it's a new rehab deal that one of my mentor students purchased, and he's going to let us use it for training. So we're going to do a training evolution there. And what I put it right in the invitation where I recommend that you walk through the house with your phone or tablet, if you have the premium tool set, and practice doing the rehab estimate live as we're all walking through the house, and then we can talk about the results, see what you got versus me versus other people by using those tools. So that's what the calculator is that Lisa was speaking about. And I think I answered those. Okay, so I don't think I missed anything, Jonathan. So, all right, does anybody else have any other questions? David, do you have anything? You haven't spoke up yet. Looks like we lost Lisa too, so.
Can you hear me, Mike or Tim?
I can hear you now.
Okay. No, I don't have any. I'm sorry I was late. I didn't know my mic was going to be working here. I'm going to try to get with you offline though.
Okay. Okay. So we're pretty much wrapping up the time here. You know, this is normally about an hour. Sometimes it runs a little over if people have a lot of questions. So I hope that, so the event next Wednesday is a members only event. So that means that you would need to be a paid member of the group. And there's a whole list of benefits. If you go back to, let me just bring that over here real quick. If you go over to our group page and just come right here to the member benefits. Can you see the screen? Okay, so
Correct.
here's the list of all the benefits that you receive as a paid member. We call you VIP members of the group. But you know, you get some software, you get a website, you get access 24/7 to the past 6 months of training, video, audio, and forms. We have all this different resources in here. You've got blogs for education. You've got local resources. You've got over here, you've got all these different files that you can download, contracts, disclosures, property information sheet, some sample legal language that you may need to use in whatever particular situation you're in. I mean, there's a ton of stuff here with this. So for $150 a month, I'm sorry, $150 a year, not a month. You get a group t-shirt, says "We Buy Houses" on the back of it. You get a Ron LeGrand book and CD. If you don't know Ron, he's one of the nation's leading real estate investors, and that's who I started learning from 21 years ago. And I was actually his mentor for all his Texas students for about 5 years. But I'm also running a special right now. Anybody that signs up today will get 3 extra free months. So that's 15 months of membership for the price of 12. So that boils down to $10 a month if you buy it annually to be a member of the group. So, I mean, it's just huge benefits.
Is that VIP?
Say again?
Is that VIP?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So all you have to do is click on the join or the members benefits and just come right down here. And for individual, it's 150. If there's a partner, if it's 2 of you, then it's 240. And all you have to do is just click right there. Once you sign up, be sure you come back and tell me you did it, because I have to manually go in there and add 3 more months membership. And then you have to tell me what size shirt you need, and we'll hold the shirt and the book and CD for you until we meet up with you at the next meeting or something. So it's a tremendous value. I mean, it's only $10 a month, but you get all this access, a free website. Where are you going to buy a website app for $10 a month? I mean, that alone's worth it, but you have access to all the training, all of our main monthly meetings, the first Saturday of the month, those are included. Otherwise, they are $25 every time you attend those meetings. So they're all included in that monthly or that annual fee. So. Okay, any questions about the benefits or anything? I have a whole presentation on the benefits and be happy to send that to you or go over it with you if necessary.
Yeah.
But, it's,
Hey, Tim,
yes,
this
sir.
is this Dave. I'm going to sign up just as soon as we get off of here.
Okay. Just like I said, just let me know that you did when you're done. And then we will go in there and we will add 3 extra months membership. And you can reach out to us right here when you're done. Just the contact us button right here in the top
Got it.
right corner. And just let us know through that page there that you've done that.
Thanks, man.
And we'll get you taken care of. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. What else? Any other questions? So once you get signed up, the other thing is get on our social media here. We have 2 Facebook pages up here. One's the page, one is a closed group. That is only for members. So you don't have a bunch of spammers and stuff in there. If they're in that group, then you get to, that they are a member of this group. And then sign up and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you receive our notices whenever we post new properties. And then for those of you that are new to the group, keep an eye on this calendar. You're on the list. You're going to get email notices for these property or for these events when they come up. But we have today, here's today's event. Here's the property walkthrough for next week. Again, that's members only, and it's intended to be an informal educational opportunity to talk about rehabbing houses and estimating repairs and stuff, and then networking. So you can build your buyers list. And then the last Saturday of the month, we have Anderson Law Group is doing a tax and asset protection workshop. This is an all-day workshop. It's free. You can attend this and learn all about tax and asset protection. Anderson Advisors is the company that created all my legal entities in my business probably 18 years ago. So we do not have the September event posted yet. It's going to be September 11th, but as of right now, it's going to be all about wholesaling. So for anybody new in the business, that would be an excellent meeting for you to attend. So, all right. I think I'm done unless somebody's got another important question. Anything at all?
Nope.
Thank you for your
so-
time. Very informative.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm glad to meet you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Where are you located at, Dave?
I'm in Addison.
Okay. So if you can do it real quick, go ahead and introduce yourself. We went around the room before you come on, just 30 seconds or so, explain who you are, what you do, and what you're looking for, and then put all your information in the chat box. But you'll need to do that real quick before I sign off. So make sure you do that so that everybody can see it.
Okay. My name's Dave Ham. I'm in Addison. I live 15 years out in Trenton, which is halfway between McKinney and Paris. And I am just now getting into this. Tim, I'm about as green as your shirt. And so,
But you're in a good place to be.
well, you know what? There's a whole bunch of things to look at. So I wanted to see this just to get a feel for you. And I like what you presented. And so I'm going to be a member, and I'm
Good.
ready to rock and roll, baby.
Cool.
You think, yeah, the market's tight and
Yeah.
such, but you know what? It's going to loosen up.
Yep. Go ahead and drop your email in there too, Dave. Put your email in the chat box too, so everybody has that as well. If you like today's event, you'll really like the main monthly meeting because we really get into some good content in those meetings. The other one that I want to tell you about, we have another members only meeting as well. Let me just bring that back up. So this one right here, the Real Estate Investor Mastermind.
Yeah.
This is another event that's members only. So, you know, the Lunch and Learn today is open to everybody, but we've been doing these members only events as part of your membership where we can really get into some detail with members and really try and help our members do more deals,
Yeah.
do more profitable deals.
And that's, and Tim, that's, I'm looking to make these relationships and have someone help me so I can help someone down the road.
Yep.
Cause you know, it's, that's to me what it's about.
Yep, I agree. Okay, well, listen, I'm going to let everybody go. I've got quite a bit of work going on here, so I hope everybody liked this today. Hope you enjoyed it. Go out there and apply what you learned today and go buy a house, and we'll see you soon. Hopefully we see you all as members and see you at the property walkthrough in Fort Worth next week if possible. So,
All right.
all righty.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend. Nice meeting you.
See you. You too.